Hey there, it is Alicia from aliciacarlson.com again today. I apologize for the dogs barking in the backyard. They are my neighbors, so there is nothing I can do about it. I wanted to just hop on here with you really quick and first and foremost let you know that you're not alone. You don't have to hide yourself and you're seen. I think that those three things, really recognizing that, is huge, especially when it comes to us putting ourselves out there and really trying to make some lifestyle changes, really trying to um, reach those fitness goals or reach those health goals that we've set, or even some other goals. And it can be hard to let our guard down long enough to be seen by other people. And for myself, for a long time, and I even still struggle with this sometimes, is I want to just hold on to everything. I want to try to kind of work it out and figure it out by myself. But the reality is that when I try to hold on to these things, when I try to hold on to these lies or these false beliefs that I have come to believe about myself, it just kind of continues to fester and it continues to kind of grow and build. And I guess, I mean, this is kind of a weird analogy and maybe even a little bit gross, but when you think about mold, it usually happens in dark and damp places, right? But the key there is that it happens in isolation almost. And you don't even notice that it's a problem until it's kind of a big problem. And I think that these lies that we believe about ourselves, about our worth and our value, or about us ever being able to lose the weight or get stronger or reach those certain fitness goals or make those changes, those only continue to get stronger and become more powerful the longer we hold them to ourselves. And so if you find yourself being that person that has a hard time opening up, has a hard time being vulnerable, has a hard time letting other people see you, I want you to know that one of the quickest ways that you can start to overcome those lies and those things that you believe about yourself is by letting somebody else in. Now, in a previous video, I talked about creating healthy accountability. So I want you to be sure that you're letting the right people in. You're letting people in that have a genuine care and a genuine interest in you. You trust their counsel. You think that they're going to give you some wisdom or some words that really speak life into you. Not necessarily just blabbing it to anybody and everybody that you think that you need to be talking to about it. Because the reality is that not everybody is going to have the advice that you actually need. And I had to learn that the hard way. I think most of us women did. There was a point in my life where I just had so many close friends, or I thought they were close friends, and I would just talk to all these different people about things going on. And then you kind of figure out who's actually your friend based on their response, based on who they decide to tell, and based on how they make you feel after you share that part with them. You share that piece of yourself with them. So accountability is incredibly important. Having people in your circle is absolutely important. And I think it's vital if you are really wanting to make some huge changes, especially in your fitness routine. Having your fitness buddy is amazing, or having somebody that you trust that can kind of help guide you and coach you is phenomenal, especially when you're making these huge changes and you're looking to really create a healthier lifestyle. But be careful who you let into that inner circle. You might be feeling embarrassed, or maybe you feel just totally ashamed of some of your behavior or some of the things that you do when you think nobody's watching. But the reality is that we all kind of have those little quirks. We all have those little things that we do that we just feel like there's like probably nobody else in the world that does this thing. But the more you start talking to people, the more you start to realize that a lot of those things that you thought made you weird or made you unworthy or unlovable are probably a little bit more normal than you might like to think. I know for myself, I used to put so much emphasis on reaching my fitness and my health goals. But even after kind of reaching that place where I was in my best physical shape, I had a really hard time opening up to my husband, a really hard time kind of letting him into some things that were happening inside of me mentally and emotionally. And even at that best physical shape, I had a hard time like wanting to be seen without my clothes on in front of him, or had a hard time just kind of communicating certain things because I was afraid, and was afraid of how he would respond or reply. I was afraid of it starting a fight. I was afraid of just him seeing maybe the mess that I was, because I thought that he might want to leave. So if you are in a committed relationship, or if you're in a relationship with somebody, that fear is real, that if they saw all of you, would they still love you? Would they still want to stay? And the reality is that you can't control that, but you withholding parts of yourself because you feel afraid or you feel insecure that's also not bringing you closer together. So I want to encourage you to just kind of step out a little bit in some of your closer relationships. How can you be a little bit more vulnerable? How can you let yourself be seen a little bit more, despite how that person's going to respond or react? And the more that you let yourself be seen, the more that you kind of let those skeletons out of the closet, the more freedom you're going to have. So if you have weird things that you do, or things that you think are weird that you do around food or fitness, or fears that you have, just start letting those out. Find those trusted people and let them out. Creating that kind of community, creating that kind of support is going to go a long way in helping you stay consistent with your workouts or your goals around your fitness, staying consistent with creating those new, healthier habits. And it's going to bring you into that deep relationship, into that closer relationship, that closer connection that we as women are especially wired for. So like I said, be sure that you are being careful with who you're letting into that inner circle, but I want to just challenge you to let yourself be seen a little bit more today. That might look completely different for you than it looks for me, and that's fine. But just think about, what is one way that you can kind of let somebody else in today? I'd love to hear how this inspired you today. You can leave me a comment down in the comment section below. I will also put a link in there for the blog that kind of goes along with this, because I do dive a little bit deeper into that. If you want to reach me, you can always shoot me an email. My inbox is always open, Alisha, ALISHA, @aliciacarlson.com. And if you are over on Instagram or Facebook, please search me, find me, let's hang out. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Do subscribe and share this with anybody and everybody that you think could benefit from this message. I'm cheering for you today. I'll talk to you soon.